So what do you think happens from here, Amy? What do you think happens now that this is all out? John Gruden is out. His name's off the Ring of Honor in Tampa. I mean, that a quick descent is not even an accurate description as to what has happened with John Gruden and the NFL. His career as a football coach and certainly somebody associated with the NFL is over. So where do you think this goes from here in your estimation,
I hope it
Amy?
goes someplace, Rich, and I mean that in the following regard. We, as a collective society, not everybody because this is a generalization, but sort of societally, we move on from one story to the next so quickly. There's a huge breaking story, breaking news, whatever the news may be. And 3 days later, or 2 days or 5 days, whatever it is, everyone has moved on to the next story. And it still stuns me that we collectively as a society move on from things so quickly. This is not something from which we should move on quickly. This is a moment from which everybody can learn and we can all work to get better, because there is a big problem in this country and in this world, and it is not limited to the NFL. We need to work together to find a way to fix these issues. And moving on from this story too quickly is not a good idea.
Well, what about more women and more people of color in positions of power within the halls of the NFL, Amy? How about that idea? I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, that there should be some sort of representation on all fronts. And I know some people might roll their eyes if they're hearing me say something like that out loud, or if they see it later on social media. But honestly, the idea, I'm sure you're out. I'm outraged to hear, well, women can't ref. And how stupid is that? What are you talking about? And the whole idea of players should not speak their minds on the issue of social justice, utilizing the platforms that they have. I mean, it's not like that they stopped in the middle of a 5-yard run and then took a knee. You know what I'm saying? Like how about that as an immediate response?
It's tremendous, Rich, and I got goosebumps as I was listening to you say it, and I will respond in two regards. While I agree with the points you will make, I will note that I was smiling in one regard as you were making them, because I have seen evolution in the league since I first joined. Now, I know that a lot of the people who watch your show, who follow you on multiple platforms, weren't even born when I started my career, and yes, it pains me to say that. But when I started in the league, I was the only woman in the room, or I should say the only woman not married to a team owner or the daughter of a team owner. I was the only woman in the room. That was a long time ago. And by the way, credit to Al Davis for hiring a girl so many years ago. But my point is we have seen growth in those years. We do see now more women, and some teams, to their credit, are putting in place pipelines, because you don't just wake up one day and say, I want to be a CEO, or I want to be a general manager, or I want to be a head coach. You need to start at the bottom and work your way up. So I'm glad to see teams like the Rams, like the 49ers, and yes, there's more teams, but I'm in California, so I'm pointing to some California teams.
Right.
Start those pipelines. So that's point one. But my most important point in response to what you said is every single business, everyone. And you know what? If someone wants to come at me and say, Amy, that's a sweeping generalization, then come at me, because I'm going to stand by it. Every business and any business and each and every business is better and stronger when it includes people of every single ilk and every single viewpoint. Get a room full of people who disagree with one another, who agree to disagree, who challenge one another. Make sure that your employee base is diverse. Be inclusive, because you know what? You're going to be a better business.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.